Now, why does he want to? Men are conquerors.
That's it.
Once they conquer you, or you give them your cookie, you're done.
That's right. That's true.
You might as well just move on, because he's just going to tear your heart up the more you try to claw on to him.
That's right. See?
He's going to go get another cookie. I tasted that cookie. It was all right, but it got to be better. So what do we want? We want all we can't have. You keep your purity.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So if you're single and you got someone in the bed with you give them the boot. Say bye, bye, bye. Bye, 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 bye. Say, I tried your cookie. I didn't know no more of that. It ain't worth it. I want somebody who's precious. Okay, now I'm meddling. All right, we're single. You get you a tape recorder. You sit up in bed. Make sure you're awake enough to talk, because I've captured my dreams and I'm and so when I listen to the recording the next morning, I'm like, alien invasion. Who got my tape recorder last night? So wake up enough to speak intelligently. But you know, if he gives it to you in tongues, go ahead and speak it in tongues. But you gotta get the interpretation in tongues. You know, so all right, got the tongue, now I'm gonna get the interpretation, but that will keep you in the spirit. Now once you've gotten it, you write down the date, you write down the time, and you name it. It is now an entity. You give it meaning, you give it purpose, you give it a name, you title your dream. People are like, I don't want a title. That helps you go back and find it, because then God can say, remember that dream I gave you about the red horse? And that's what you call it, the red horse dream. You know, the day you had it, you know, the time you had it, so now you can put a scripture to it. Chances are it's going to be a scripture that talks about the red horse in the Bible. You look up the color, you look up horse. You begin to build. What does it mean? You begin to talk to God about it. So you're going to write it down. It says, write the vision down that it becomes clear. As you're writing your dream down, it's going to become very vivid to you. And God's going to be able to speak to you, and it's going to imprint. Now, visions are a little different than dreams, because dreams are more metaphoric and symbolic, where you have to say, I wonder what this symbol means, or why that. Whereas visions are more in the literal realm. What you see is what you get. So it's going to show you things of the future. Now, a lot of times with Christians, it takes a lot longer for ours to take place than it does a non-believer. Non-believers, next Scott got exactly out. Non-believers happen very quickly because their heart's not going to change. With us, He's going to change our heart. We're going to submit to it. So sometimes there's more of a process that takes place. And I talk about that in When Is My Dream Going to Come True? So don't get discouraged. It says, though the dream tarry, you wait for it. You don't want to create an Ishmael. You want the Isaac. And isn't it interesting that Isaac is here visiting us, and Isaac means laughter. God's getting ready to change parties and cause laughter to come again. New Orleans, what do you think of New Orleans? It's a party city. And it came 7 years ago, a complete cycle of perfection, and it came and visited again. Winds, we sang about it last night. Winds of change, named Isaac, laughter. Joy is our strength. God's getting ready to release that joy back into us. We're going to laugh. It says that the Lord sits in the heavens and laughs at the enemy. So what the enemy has to try to do to us, God's going to say, you can't do that. These are my